So, the way I was going to start this, and the way I'm going to start it, two different things, because while we were going to the service, I realized that the beginning of the supplication fully sort of encompasses the meaning behind the lesson in the gospel. So I'm going to just read it again. You that were in silence speak, for your mouth has been opened. You that were despised from henceforth be lifted up, for your righteousness has been lifted up. For the right hand of the Godhead is with you, and the Godhead will be your helper, and peace was prepared for you before the war that may come unto you. I left out the beginning part, which is kind of important. Rise up and stand upright, you who once were brought low. And the reason why I wanted to read that is because the lesson is talking about the part in Sophia's journey where she has ascended from the darkness and is getting all of her light powers back. And she was on the verge of losing all of it. And it's such a short phrase, it's easy to miss. It's not just that she was diminished, it was that she was diminished to the point where she almost lost everything. And then basically Christ shows up and helps her regain all of the power that she lost in the first place. And I think that's why that bit in the service is a nice thing to add to it, because it's like before she fell, before she rose, before all of it, like things turned out, and she couldn't have known that, but the part of the divine that knows everything and is everywhere, had everything under control from a different perspective. It's one of those things where multiple things are true at the same time, because there's multiple points of view at any given time. And so sometimes when we're on the verge of whatever our version of losing everything is, sometimes something better comes out of it, and sometimes it doesn't look like what we wanted, and well, we're on the earthly plane, so it doesn't quite always work out as neatly as it does in This is Sophia, of course, but there's also just this reassurance of just because things from my perspective look like they're drowning in flames doesn't mean that, there aren't, an angel on either side of me helping me out and someone above trying to lift me up and all those things. It's one of those, you're not alone even when we think we're alone. Yeah. Trying to think of a specific time in my life where I felt like that, but the thing is I feel like that more often than not. I don't know if that's the depression talking, but I feel like that's a gross overemphasized emphasis than what is true, partially because our brains are wired to remember bad things over good things. So looking back, we're more likely to be like, and this went wrong, and that went wrong, and this, and I did this thing, and that person did this thing, and then like, we remember some of the good stuff, but like a lot of the other good stuff just kind of falls through the cracks. And like from an evolutionary point of view, it makes sense. Like, when you're living in the jungle or whatever, you want to remember, that berry killed, my friend or whatever, and so don't eat it because it kills people. Like, remembering bad things mean you don't die. But like, when we're talking about emotions and modern society, it gets way more complicated, like with a lot of things. So sometimes it's also just remembering our brains work like they do for a reason, and it might even be conditioning from early childhood, because let's be fair, a lot of us had one kind of messed up childhood or another, even if it's just a couple events or whatever, or even if your childhood was great, there's still things that mess you up as a person. Again, it's part of being on Earth. If you get out of here unscathed, well, I'd say you were living under a rock, but that would give you a different kind of scars. But, yeah. So just remember, there are other people here with you, even if they don't have the same experience as you, they have their own scar tissue. Luckily, not all our scars look the same, otherwise we wouldn't know how to help each other. So, there's a reason why there's multiple colors in the rainbow. That's the way I see it. But anyway, with that, go in peace, and may the lady walk with